Garrett Blevins here with week 8, day 1. I've switched over for the next probably training cycle, but also these last 2 weeks to Cube Kingpin. I want to throw some more of the main movements in there with the lower volume I'm doing. In general, I've been feeling pretty good, and I'm just gonna get rid of my assistance day and focus on the 3 main lifts as I get ready to test here in 2 weeks. So this is all going to be lower body squat day, and as you see here, 5 sets, 2 explosively with 430. Not a whole lot to say on these reps other than I had done a lot of stretching and worked out uh, my legs a lot, and they felt really good on this day. Really no pain at all in any of my quad muscles. The only thing that's been bugging me lately has been my lower back and hip flexors. I think since I've loosened up some of my quads, there's a different pull on my hips, and the anterior pelvic tilt that I usually struggled with, that I had to try hard to correct, is not there as much as it used to be. And so I think because of that, the way I used to get tight with my lower back, where I would really push my lower back out, and so I wouldn't be in hyperextension at the top of the lift, is now working against me because I'm more mobile, and I think I'm actually hyperextending in some weird ways. So I've stopped trying to, as I imagined it, I would try to push my spine, just the bottom vertebrae, to flat. They would usually be arched up, like where my back would kind of make a curve upwards. And so that would lead, sometimes that would be to correct my bad posture. But I think I've been sitting better lately, and that's kind of pulled over into my squats. So it's been an interesting thing. I'm trying not to get injured or pull a hip flexor like I'd done before. Staying injury free is pretty important right now. These high bar squats were really difficult. The weight felt really heavy today. It's heavy for a set of 3, and I kept my rest periods pretty short this day. I think I actually finished out this workout in about an hour and 20 minutes from when I started, and with all the assistance work that was packed in, that was actually quite a bit of volume. The hamstring curls, which are not shown in this video, really were good. I just did real light cable hamstring curls, but I did 4 sets of 15 each leg, and both my hamstrings were cramping up by the end of it. And it wasn't because of hydration or anything, it was just the muscles were not used to being used, and so I'm real sore today. It's the first time in a long time I've actually been sore from a workout. And so that's encouraging. I feel pretty good about the Cube Kingpin. I think I'm probably going to be swapping back and forth between doing lower body and upper body squat bench or deadlift bench days on the Cube, swapping that out with these workouts where I do just the main, just one movement per day, or one main lift per day, that is, squat, bench, or deadlift on their own days. I think it's good to swap those out because when I put the lifts together, I felt like my endurance, and especially with my bench press, to be able to press in a fatigued state was increased. But at the same time, it was a little bit harder to focus on one lift and really tiring out my muscles, say on my squat and my bench day, because I'd move away from squats after 2 exercises. Now, it was good to have the assistance day for the extra volume, but I think as Brandon Lilly prescribes in his method, a 4th bodybuilding day might be better to throw some of that training volume in. And so I'm going to keep manipulating and changing the programs around. I think in getting ready for the testing phase, it's good to split the lifts up right now and just give my body a little bit different stimulus this last week. I'm probably going to deviate slightly from the cube as it's programmed on these last 2 weeks, so that on the 10th week I can test on a Wednesday instead of waiting a whole week for recovery and then testing on a Saturday. After the competitions I've done, I have taken a week off to recover. It's really brutal on my body, and so I figure if I take it easy my last day in week 9, I'll be able to do a mock meet Wednesday of week 10, and then be able to come back the next week and come right into a Cube Kingpin cycle without any without taking a week off and turning a 10-week cycle into an 11-week cycle. So I appreciate everybody that's watching. I appreciate your feedback and your comments. It's really interesting to get other people's perspectives and see what other people are doing. It's encouraging to be around people that are trying to make progress. I've been listening to Proverbs, and I looked this one up to see kind of what Proverbs has to say about haters, and I thought this was interesting that, everybody knows about the haters out there on the internet, on YouTube, that, just kind of miserable people who hate on whatever everyone else is doing. And I don't know, there's part of me that just doesn't like to be around those people at all. I don't understand the mindset. I want to be around people that are making progress, that are moving in good directions. And so the wise person listens to reproof, but the haters, you can reprove them and they probably need it, but they'll never take it. And if you give it, all you get back is abuse. Good lesson to remember. Blessings.